Imagine for a moment that everything in your world is not separate from you, but an extension of your own mind. The people you encounter, the events you experience, and even the challenges you face are not random occurrences, but reflections of your inner state. This is the essence of the law of assumption, a principle that places you as the creator of your reality. The law is simple yet profound. What you assume to be true will eventually harden into fact. Your assumptions, like seeds, are planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Nurtured with the feelings of certainty and persistence, they grow into the circumstances and experiences of your life. But here is the secret: it is not enough to merely think about what you want. The law operates on a deeper level. It requires that you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled. When you assume something to be true, you must wear it like a garment, allowing its reality to saturate your mind and heart. Doubt is the only enemy. It whispers that your desire is too big, your dream too far away. But doubt is powerless unless you entertain it. The law demands persistence. Regardless of what the world may show you, remain steadfast in the state of your fulfilled desire. The outer world is slow to change, but it must eventually conform to the conviction held within. Do not look to the external for proof. The evidence begins within. When you imagine and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you set a divine chain of events into motion. Circumstances will shift, people will align, and opportunities will appear, all to bring about that which you have claimed as true. Remember, the law of assumption does not work because of chance or luck. It works because you are the operant power. You decide the nature of your reality. By consciously directing your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions, you take the reins of creation into your own hands. So the question is not whether the law works, the question is, what are you assuming? Are your thoughts aligned with your desires, or are they rooted in fear and lack? You have the power to choose. Assume wisely, for the world will always reflect the truth you hold within. Now go forth and create boldly, for the life you desire is not waiting, it is already here within you. The power lies within you, and it is far greater than you may realize. Every aspect of your life, every triumph, every challenge, every relationship, and every opportunity is shaped by the assumptions you hold within your mind. These assumptions act as invisible forces, silently crafting the structure of your world. You see, your beliefs are not idle thoughts. They are the architects of your reality, tirelessly at work behind the scenes. Each thought you accept as true, whether consciously or unconsciously, forms the foundation upon which your experiences are built. The world you navigate daily is nothing more than a projection of what you have affirmed within yourself. When you begin to understand this, you realize that nothing external has power over you unless you grant it authority. The circumstances you face are not fixed realities imposed upon you by chance. They are mirrors reflecting the convictions you hold deep within. What appears as luck, fate, or coincidence is, in truth, the manifestation of your inner world. The power within you is limitless because it is rooted in your imagination. It does not depend on external resources or the opinions of others. It does not falter in the face of obstacles or impossibilities. This power responds solely to your awareness and the assumptions you choose to embrace. If you believe in scarcity, you will see a world of lack. If you assume abundance, you will find opportunities everywhere. This law is unwavering. It does not discriminate between what you perceive as good or bad, possible or impossible. It simply reflects back to you the state of your own consciousness. Therefore, the key to transforming your life lies not in changing the world around you, but in changing your assumptions about it. The moment you recognize that your beliefs shape your experiences, you step into the role of creator. You realize that every experience you encounter is evidence of the power that resides within you, waiting to be directed. To wield this power is not to fight against external circumstances, but to master the inner realm. It is to understand that your world, no matter how chaotic or serene, is the natural outgrowth of your deeply held thoughts and feelings. By shifting your inner state, you set into motion the forces that will reshape your external reality. Imagination is the seed of creation, the divine force within you that shapes the world around you. Everything you experience externally is born first in the mind. The people, places, and circumstances you encounter daily are not random occurrences but reflections of the vivid images you hold in your imagination. Your imagination is the creative power through which all things are made. Every great invention, every breakthrough, every masterpiece of art or architecture began as an idea, a vision in someone's mind. Before it existed in the physical world, it was first formed in the unseen realm of thought. What you dwell on mentally is the blueprint for what you experience in the tangible world. The world outside you is not separate from your imagination but a shadow cast by it. Just as a shadow cannot exist without the object creating it, your external reality cannot exist without the images you continually project through your inner vision. The thoughts you nurture, the feelings you embody, and the scenarios you rehearse in your mind create the substance of your life. When you imagine, you are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. These seeds grow and take form, eventually becoming the experiences that unfold before you. If you envision joy, prosperity, and success, those are the fruits you will reap. Conversely, if you focus on fear, failure, or lack, those too will manifest. Imagination does not judge, it simply creates what you consistently feed it. It is through imagination that you hold the power to transform your reality. What you see with your inner eye is far more significant than what your physical eyes perceive. The external world is malleable and subject to change, but the internal world is where creation begins. By choosing to imagine a reality aligned with your desires, you set into motion the forces that will bring that vision to life. This is why imagination is sacred. It is not mere fantasy or idle daydreaming, it is the very mechanism through which life is shaped. When you grasp this truth, you understand that nothing in the outer world is fixed or unchangeable. Everything can be recreated, reshaped, and reimagined, starting with the images you hold within. Assumption is the bridge that connects the unseen to the seen, the intangible desire to its tangible realization. It is the invisible pathway through which your imagined reality crosses over into the physical world. To assume is to accept something as true, not with fleeting hope but with unwavering certainty. When you live in the state of your fulfilled desire, you align yourself with the very essence of creation, setting the stage for its manifestation. Living in the state of your fulfilled desire means more than simply thinking about what you want. It requires you to embody the feeling of having already achieved it. You do not wait for evidence in the external world. Instead, you become the person who already possesses the thing you seek. You think, act, and feel as though your desire is a present reality, regardless of the circumstances surrounding you. This act of assumption is not passive. It is an active engagement with the truth of your desire. It means holding on to the conviction that what you seek is not something far off, but something that already exists within you, waiting to materialize. The bridge is built with your faith, strengthened by your persistence, and completed through your unwavering belief. Every moment you dwell in the state of your wish fulfilled, you move closer to its realization. You are tuning yourself to the frequency of your desire, like a radio aligning with a specific station. As you persist in this state, the outer world begins to shift to match your inner reality. People, circumstances, and opportunities appear seemingly by coincidence, but in truth they are the result of the assumption you have chosen to embody. Assumption transcends logic and reason. It does not depend on how or when something will happen, it only requires that you accept it as already done. By living in the end, you bypass the obstacles and limitations that the mind often imposes. The how is not your concern, the bridge itself takes care of that. Your only task is to walk across it through faith and belief, knowing that the fulfillment of your desire is inevitable. This bridge is unshakable when constructed with conviction. Doubt may try to creep in and circumstances may seem unchanged, but these are illusions. The true work happens within, and as you persist in assuming the reality of your wish fulfilled, the bridge carries you effortlessly from the imagined to the realized. Feeling anchors the assumption because emotion is the driving force that transforms mere thoughts into living realities. While thoughts are the blueprint of your desires, it is the feeling behind them that gives them vitality and substance. Without emotion, a thought is inert like a seed without water. It is the energy of your feelings that nurtures and propels your assumptions into becoming tangible experiences. When you assume something to be true, it is not enough to simply think about it intellectually. You must feel it as though it is already real. The sensation of joy, relief, gratitude, or excitement that arises when you imagine your desire fulfilled is what solidifies the assumption in your subconscious mind. These feelings act as a magnetic force, attracting circumstances and events that align with your internal state. Emotion is the language of the subconscious mind. While it does not respond to logic or reason, it is profoundly moved by the intensity of your feelings. When you consistently feel as though your desire has already been achieved, you impress this state upon your subconscious, which then works tirelessly to bring it into your reality. The stronger and more genuine the emotion, the faster and more powerfully it anchors the assumption. A fleeting or half-hearted feeling is unlikely to make a lasting impression. But when you immerse yourself fully in the sensation of having your desire now, you create a vivid and undeniable reality within yourself. This inner conviction becomes so real that it begins to shape the external world to match it. Negative emotions, too, can anchor assumptions, which is why it is vital to guard your feelings. Fear, doubt, or resentment can breathe life into undesirable assumptions, just as love, faith, and joy can energize the positive ones. The key is to consciously direct your feelings toward what you want to experience, allowing your emotions to align with your desired state, rather than opposing it. Feeling also has the power to override the evidence of the senses. Even when the outer world appears unchanged, the emotions tied to your assumption remind you that your reality begins within. As you persist in feeling the truth of your desired state, the external world must eventually conform, for it is merely a reflection of your inner state. Persist regardless of appearances, for the outer world is not the master of your reality, it is the servant. What you see, hear, and experience in the physical realm is merely a reflection of your past assumptions, a lagging shadow of your inner state. To allow these appearances to dictate your belief is to hand over your creative power to circumstances that are already fading into the past. Holding steadfast to your imagined reality requires unwavering faith. It means standing firm in your conviction, even when the world around you presents evidence to the contrary. This persistence is not about denial or resistance, it is about recognizing that the true substance of creation lies within your imagination, not in the fleeting images of the external world. When physical evidence challenges your assumption, it is merely a test of your resolve. The moment you waver, you risk reinforcing the very reality you wish to transcend. Instead, you must anchor yourself in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, knowing that what you hold in imagination is far more real and powerful than what you perceive with your senses. The outer world is a malleable canvas, and its appearance will eventually conform to the new picture you persistently paint within. It is like planting a seed. The growth does not become visible overnight, but beneath the surface the process is already underway. If you dig up the seed every time doubt creeps in, you halt its progress. Similarly, if you allow appearances to shake your belief, you delay the manifestation of your desire. True persistence requires consistency, not struggle. It is a quiet yet firm determination to live in the end, to think, feel, and act as though your desire is already a fact. This state of being sends a clear message to your subconscious mind, which then orchestrates the circumstances necessary to bring your inner vision to life. Appearances often serve as distractions, tempting you to question or abandon your imagined reality. But you must remind yourself that the outer world is powerless without your consent. Your reality begins and ends with your assumptions. Persisting in your imagined state, regardless of what the senses report, is an act of ultimate trust in the creative power within you. Inner conviction bends the outer world because what you deeply believe is the force that molds your reality. The external world is not fixed or immutable, it is fluid and responsive, always conforming to the assumptions and beliefs you hold at the core of your being. Your convictions act as the invisible hands shaping the circumstances, events, and relationships that unfold in your life. When you possess an unshakable belief in something, it becomes a directive to the subconscious mind. This inner certainty sends out a powerful signal, one that influences not only your actions and decisions but also the seemingly unrelated events and people around you. The world begins to move in alignment with your beliefs, orchestrating outcomes that mirror your inner state. Your outer circumstances are like clay, soft and malleable, ready to take the form of your dominant assumptions. If you believe deeply in abundance, opportunities flow to you with ease. If you hold fast to a belief in your worth, you find yourself surrounded by people and situations that affirm it. Conversely, if you are gripped by fear or doubt, these too are reflected in your reality, for the outer world has no choice but to echo the convictions held within. Inner conviction does not rely on evidence from the senses, it creates its own evidence. Even when the world seems resistant or unyielding, your steadfast belief exerts a transformative power. Circumstances that once seemed immovable begin to shift. Obstacles dissolve, and paths open where none seem to exist. This is not coincidence or magic, it is the natural law of creation at work. To understand this power is to realize that your beliefs are not merely private thoughts confined to your mind. They are creative forces that ripple outward, influencing the fabric of reality itself. When your conviction is unwavering, the world must bend to accommodate it. It may take time, but persistence in belief ensures that the outer world will eventually align with your inner truth. This is why guarding your inner convictions is so vital. To entertain thoughts of failure, limitation, or lack is to allow these beliefs to take root and shape your experiences. But when you deliberately cultivate and strengthen convictions that align with your desires, you wield the power to transform not only your life but the environment around you. You cannot escape your assumptions because they are the invisible architects of your reality. Every facet of life, your relationships, finances, health, and opportunities, acts as a mirror, reflecting the beliefs you hold most deeply. Whether you are conscious of them or not, these assumptions shape the lens through which you perceive the world, and they, in turn, determine the circumstances you encounter. Assumptions operate as the foundation upon which your experiences are built. If you assume the world is a place of abundance and opportunity, you will find those truths mirrored back to you in your daily life. Conversely, if you hold the belief that life is a constant struggle, that assumption will also manifest, showing itself in obstacles and challenges that seem to validate your perspective. Your assumptions are more than fleeting thoughts, they are deeply ingrained beliefs that dictate how you interact with the world. Even when you attempt to act contrary to these beliefs, your reality will still conform to the assumptions rooted in your subconscious mind. For example, someone who assumes they are unworthy of love may find themselves in a pattern of strained relationships, regardless of their conscious efforts to seek connection. The assumption, not the action, ultimately governs the outcome. Life's reflective nature ensures that no assumption goes unnoticed. The outer world is not random or chaotic, it is precise and unyielding in its reflection of your internal state. If you wish to change your experiences, you must begin by changing the assumptions you hold about yourself and the world. It is impossible to outrun or override them, because they are the source from which your reality springs. Even when circumstances seem disconnected from your beliefs, a closer look often reveals the assumption at their core. If you assume that success comes only through hardship, you may unconsciously create unnecessary struggle, even in situations where ease is possible. The reflection may be subtle or overt, but it is always present, serving as a faithful replica of your inner convictions. This principle highlights the importance of self-awareness. Many assumptions operate on autopilot, established long before you became conscious of their influence. Yet they remain active, shaping your reality without your deliberate consent. To escape undesirable patterns, you must first uncover and challenge the assumptions that create them, replacing them with beliefs aligned with the reality you desire. Faith transcends logic because it recognizes that the unseen, those desires, dreams, and visions held within the imagination, holds just as much reality as what is visible to the senses. Logic, rooted in past experience and reason, often insists that only what can be seen, touched, or measured is real. But faith operates beyond these limits. It accepts the power of the imagination as a creator of realities, trusting that what is imagined with conviction will inevitably be made manifest, regardless of present appearances. When you trust in the power of your imagination, you step into a realm where the laws of the physical world no longer govern. Imagination is not mere fantasy, it is a tool for creation. When you imagine something clearly, vividly, and with emotion, you are not entertaining an illusion, but rather laying the foundation for its physical counterpart. Faith in this process is the belief that the unseen world is just as substantial as the tangible world before you. It is the unwavering conviction that your inner vision holds power and will ultimately reveal itself in the form of external circumstances. Faith defies the constraints of time and space. What you imagine today with feeling and trust can be just as real as the chair you sit in or the air you breathe. This belief doesn't rely on external evidence to validate it. It trusts the unseen energy of creation to bring forth the desired reality. The imagination doesn't need proof to function. It works based on the confidence that it is creating an inevitable outcome. Logic may tell you that what you envision has no foundation in reality, but faith bypasses this barrier, knowing that the seeds you plant in your imagination soil are destined to grow. Faith sees the invisible as real and valid, as it understands that the outer world is a reflection of inner belief. The seen is but a shadow of the unseen, and only through trusting the unseen can you bring it into tangible form. When faith transcends logic, you become free from the constraints of reason and limitation. You are no longer bound by what seems possible or probable. Instead, you operate on a higher level of knowing that everything you imagine and feel is a step closer to materializing. Faith in your imagination's power is not blind, it is grounded in the understanding that the inner world creates the outer, and that all things are born from the unseen before they appear in the physical world. You are the only cause of your reality because the external world has no inherent power to shape your experiences. What you encounter in life is not a result of fate, chance, or the influence of others, but is a direct reflection of your own assumptions and beliefs. Every circumstance, every relationship, and every outcome you experience is the consequence of what you have assumed to be true about yourself and the world. External forces may seem to operate outside your control, but they are only responding to the internal state you create. The people, situations, and opportunities that appear in your life are not random or dictated by some external power. They are manifestations of the assumptions you hold about yourself and the world around you. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs act as a signal directing the universe to shape itself in alignment with your internal state. For example, if you believe that life is hard and that success requires great struggle, you will attract experiences that reinforce this assumption. The people you meet, the opportunities that arise, and the challenges you face will all serve to confirm that belief. On the other hand, if you assume that life is abundant and full of ease, you will find that opportunities come effortlessly and obstacles seem to melt away. The power lies within your assumptions, for they are the blueprint that directs the flow of your experiences. Whether you are consciously aware of them or not, your assumptions about love, wealth, health, and success are actively shaping your reality. The outer world is merely a mirror reflecting the dominant beliefs you hold within. This is not a matter of coincidence or luck. The law of cause and effect operates through your assumptions. What you believe to be true will inevitably manifest, because the universe responds to the signal you send out through your thoughts and feelings. No event or person in your life is independent of your assumptions. They are all drawn to you as a direct result of what you assume to be true about yourself and the world. Therefore, the idea that external forces are dictating your reality is an illusion. There is no outside power controlling your circumstances. You are the only cause. The world you experience is the direct result of the assumptions you hold about your place within it. When you change your assumptions, you change your world, for the outer world cannot help but reflect the truth of your inner beliefs. Awareness shapes destiny because it is through conscious selection of what you assume to be true that you have the power to rewrite the script of your life. Every thought you entertain and every belief you hold shapes the trajectory of your experiences. The mind is a powerful tool, and when you become aware of your assumptions, you gain the ability to transform the course of your reality. When you are aware of your assumptions, you stop reacting to life on autopilot. Instead of being swept along by external circumstances or conditioned beliefs, you begin to consciously choose the thoughts and assumptions that align with the reality you wish to create. This awareness is the key to unlocking your creative power, because it allows you to recognize that the beliefs you hold are not set in stone, they are fluid and malleable. Through this awareness, you realize that every assumption you entertain is a seed planted in your subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind in turn shapes your experiences. If you assume you are destined for success, your awareness will direct your thoughts, actions, and decisions in ways that bring that assumption into fruition. If you assume failure, your awareness will focus on the thoughts and patterns that align with that assumption, thus perpetuating that outcome. Awareness gives you the choice to select what you believe to be true, not based on past experiences or external influences, but from a place of deliberate intention. This process is akin to a writer taking control of the narrative. Once you realize you have the pen in your hand, you can rewrite your life script to reflect the reality you desire. Your destiny is no longer dictated by chance or circumstance, but by the thoughts and assumptions you choose to embody. In every moment, you are either consciously or unconsciously affirming something as true. The more you awaken to this truth, the more you realize the power of your awareness in shaping your future. You are no longer a passive participant in your life story, you become the author, crafting a future that reflects your most empowering beliefs. By consciously selecting what you assume to be true, you are actively directing the course of your destiny. Every assumption, no matter how small, has the potential to shift the entire narrative of your life. Awareness is the first step toward reclaiming your power and creating a reality that is aligned with your desires. It is the realization that your assumptions, shaped by conscious choice, are the very forces that sculpt your future.